What about what now?
Pacquiao and Thurman.
That's a good fight. I don't know how that's going to turn out. You got two fighters that are capable of beating anybody in the world on any given day. So it's going to be about who's there is. I mean, one time was a very good young prospect. One time was a very good young prospect. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Pacquiao can beat anybody on any given day. We know Pacquiao beyond his prime. We know one time is still in his prime. So if one time can take Pacquiao's punch, then one time should be able to win the fight. But one time can't take Pacquiao's punch, one time's in trouble. And that's why I like the fight.
The Pacquiao-Thurman fight. To you, what's like the question about it?
Can Thurman take Pacquiao punch?
Yeah? You think that's
Can head and body. Can he take Pacquiao punch? Now, if he can take Pacquiao punch, and he punch hard enough to get Pacquiao out, we know that. And we will find a little bit about his boxing skills too, because if he can't box, he can't keep Pacquiao off. You feel me?
Yeah.
He showed good skills against Thurman, against Porter, but they kind of fought the same fight. Pacquiao's a little different.
But Thurman was out for 2 years. He came back and he was hurt by Josecito Lopez. Did you draw anything from that, or is that just rust because he'd been out of the ring so long?
2 years off is hard to draw anything from, but now don't get it wrong.
Still got hurt.
Josecito Lopez ain't no boy either. You understand?
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. And he didn't get hurt by just no other fighter. You gotta have your game right when you fight Josecito Lopez, because he ain't no play. He ain't no play either. So it's like, yeah, it happened. He ain't been out two years, and yeah, that makes you say, well, wow, if he can hurt him, Pacquiao should be the killer. But not so fast. That was his first fight back. This will be the second. Those are two different type of opponents with a whole lot more to gain and a whole lot more to lose. Lopez had nothing to lose.
Exactly.
Pacquiao does. He has a name. He has a legacy.
Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. That's a great matchup. What do you think about Manny Pacquiao at 40 years old?
Manny Pacquiao, as you said, is 40 years old. And when you get to that age, you're not the same fighter as you were when you were in your 30s, in early 30s, middle 30s. You know, Pacquiao, he fought so many fights for us. He's always been a very gutty guy, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. And I think Thurman is going to benefit from the fight that he had. He was off 2 years. He didn't look too good with Lopez, but I think he's much better than that. And if Thurman fights to the way he had been, then I don't think Pacquiao would have much of a chance. But we don't know. We don't know if Thurman can ever recapture what he had before the 2-year layoff.
On the Manny Pacquiao and Thurman matchup. Yeah.
That's a good fight, man. You got an older Pacquiao who's gonna be there a little bit more than he normally is. And you got a Thurman who, he got a lot to prove. You got some people, speaking down on him, saying he's ducking Spence. I'm not gonna get involved in whether he's ducking him or not, but that's what a lot of people are saying. Didn't really look great his last fight, so he got a lot to fight for. And beating Manny Pacquiao, that's like winning 4 or 5 regular fights.
That's true.
Just from that win right there, having that name on your resume.
Hall of Famer Al Bernstein. Al, how do you see Pacquiao-Thurman playing out?
If we had said that this fight was going to be held a couple of years ago, I think people would have thought that, Keith Thurman was going to be too much for Manny Pacquiao, and it wasn't even a fight. Now, because Thurman has, had his breaks from boxing for his injury and has not been a dominant force in coming back, and Pacquiao has performed well in fights like the Broner fight, we now see it as a more even proposition. If Keith Thurman fights the fight like he has been fighting in the last several, where he is purely a boxer, it gives Manny Pacquiao, I think, a chance in this fight, because he's become he can be at his best a volume puncher who can come forward and win rounds with volume. But if Thurman is able to set down on his punches and stop and use his power a little bit, I mean, he should be, if you think about it, he should be the hardest puncher that Manny Pacquiao's ever faced, right? He's a true welterweight, a big, strong welterweight who had a lot of power and showed it in his career. So I think at some point, Keith Thurman's going to need to use that power against Pacquiao. So I think those are the two different kind of fights that could happen. Which one will? It's a good question.
What would you say Pacquiao's at now in his fight with Broner in comparison to when he was on top against Cotto and Hatton and those?
Well, he's a different fighter. He's 40 years old. So, you know, you'll see him sometimes get more off balance and sometimes not be able to throw the volume punches that he did before. So he's not quite that same fighter. But for a 40-year-old, based on that last, performance, and really, he's only had like one really subpar performance, and that was down in Australia when he really didn't look good at all. But other than that, he hasn't had really, even in his late 30s, hasn't had a lot of bad performances. So you know, it's for a 40-year-old, he's pretty extraordinary.
Let's say the Pacquiao that fought Broner shows up, and the Thurman that fought Sean Porter shows up. Who wins that fight? If those are the versions.
The Pacquiao that fought who?
Broner.
And the one that fought Porter. Well, against Porter, Thurman was, I thought was, it's more the Thurman, yeah, that maybe fought in the last fight. If Pacquiao can be the same way he was against Broner, and Thurman doesn't engage him enough and just wants to box, Pacquiao has a chance to win.
What's your breakdown of Pacquiao versus Thurman?
I think that Pacquiao is right now, even at his age, really difficult to beat. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't think that Thurman's gonna have enough for Pacquiao. We saw what Josito Lopez did with under the guidance of Eduardo Garcia and Robert Garcia.
Yeah.
And we saw that, you know, almost knocking out Thurman. And we know that, you know, Josito Lopez isn't a 100% power puncher, but I think that Pacquiao is a lot stronger of a puncher and quicker, and he's a southpaw, and he's a southpaw that has a lot of movement and great pressure. So it's gonna be a tough one, I think.